4 Strangest Abandoned Places Kentucky - Creepiest Abandoned Places. 1. The USS Fanackite, Kentucky. Out of all the creepy places we've come across, none make us get chills quite like this one. Seriously, is this the boat from the original Anaconda movie, or what? Well, not quite, but it sure looks a hell of a lot like it. This rust bucket was once a luxury ship, but now sits in the backwaters of the Ohio River, slowly being claimed by the waters it once sailed upon. Where passengers used to travel, trees and various plants now cover, and the whole deck seems like it's just become a part of the landscape. Some are bold enough to venture onto the ship, but we'll tell you that this is dangerous if simply for the fact that the boat has been exposed to the elements for decades now. This means that parts of the ship could give way under your weight without much warning. You don't want to get trapped in the pitch-black hull of this thing. 2. The SS Coldbrook, Alaska. Sure, there are plenty of creepy, abandoned ships on the shores of Alaska, but this one stands out among the others. There's something especially haunting about this towering, rusty hulk of a ship. Yet, the backdrop of the ocean makes it startlingly beautiful. While it's obviously out of commission, plenty of birds now make their homes among the rusty remains of the hull of the massive ship. While Alaska is quite the adventure, you need to take the trip up at least once, because you won't find many places like this anywhere else in the world. The immensity of the ship isn't justified by this picture, either. You probably shouldn't take the risk of exploring inside, but this ship is perfect at a distance, and will be in the same spot for years to come. 3. The Peter Iredale, Oregon. Let's just put this out there, the Peter Iredale, when it ran aground, was easily the most beautiful out of any on this list. Today, however, it's not looking too hot. In fact, the boat is hardly recognizable, as the only thing remaining in view is half of the broken mast and the front end of the ship. The rest has been slowly sinking below the sand since its wreck in 1906. The shipwreck is one of the most visited in America, and is now one of the main attractions of a state park that surrounds the area where the ship ran aground. While it's pretty rusted, it's not hard to imagine what this ship used to look like with its mast flying, still in full form. The rusty hull looks hauntingly beautiful against a sunset, so that's definitely the recommend time to check it out. 4. The Palo Alto, California. Back when the Palo Alto was commissioned in 1919, she was out a little too late to serve in the war, and there were already enough concrete ships around. For this reason, the ship ended up being sold to the Seacliff Amusement Corporation only 10 years later. They ended up building a pier to the ship and sunk it, turning it into an amusement ship complete with a swimming pool and cafe. Only 2 years later, however, the company went bankrupt at about the same time the ship's midsection cracked. It was later turned into a fishy pier but eventually became unfit for anyone to be on. These days it still rests off the coast of Cliffside Beach as an artificial reef. While the ship was never used for its original purpose, it got to live 3 different lives, and that's what makes it so interesting.